philosophy. I'm going to wait for a while. Got a few minutes before my philosophy partner, my discussion partner will be here, and we'll get started then. But for now, I thought I'd play a little game here, so you guys can watch me play a game on the computer while we're watching. Super easy, medium. Medium sounds good. Okay, this game is called Sudoku, which you probably are familiar with. Right, so the object is to, right, every square, every row, every column should have only the numbers 1 through 9 each exactly one time. All right, so here's the 1 and here's the 1. So in here, the 1 has to be over here, but we don't know whether it's top or bottom, so we can't go any farther. Let's take a look at, it seems like there's a lot of 2s. Can we figure out anything from 2? So for example, here's a 2. So this row is decided, and here's a 2. So this row decided. So these 4 squares cannot be 2. So that means that this one has to be a 2, right? Because this row, and this row can only have 1, 2 each. So this 2 has to be here. All right. And then let's see, what else can we do? Maybe not too much right now. With that, let's go to 3s. Let's see, 3s. Not too many 3s, are there? Not enough 3s. Let's take a look at 4s. Not very many 4s. 5s. Seems like there's a lot of 5s. Yeah, let's take a look at 5. That doesn't answer that question either. Okay, well, let's see. Sorry, somebody's dragging a cart across the parking lot there. And you can probably hear, maybe you can faintly hear the sound of the train in the background. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I forgot to take a look at my comments. Okay, well, thank you to the 3 people that have peeked in to see what I'm up to here. Let's see. That doesn't answer that question. That stuck me there. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. 6. How about 6? Okay. Here's a 6, and here's a 6. So that means that 6 has to be here, but it can't be here or here because of these 2. So this must be the 6. All right, and let's see, all the 6s are there. Here's a 6. So the 6 has to be in the bottom because it can't be in the top or the middle. It can't be here, so this has to be 6. And let's see, 6, 6. So 6 has to be in the middle. This is the only place for the 6 to be. All right. What about 7s? 7s, not a lot of 7s. No, don't see. Hello, Abyss. Welcome. Just spending a little time here playing a game of Sudoku while I'm waiting for people to arrive. Probably it won't be until about 11 o'clock before Jeff arrives, and then we'll get started for real. This is this is not a very challenging because it's just a freeware app that I got on the Macintosh here, and it's very simple. It does have like 5 different levels, and this is the middle level. This is medium, actually. There's hard and super hard and easy and super easy or something like that. But let's see, what am I doing? 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. don't quite have that one. Let's see. Okay, 8 has to be here, right? And let's see what else. 9, 9. This has to be a 9 because of those two 9s. And then Sudoku is one of my favorite games. I always make sure that I solve all the New York Times puzzles before bed. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I first saw them, when they were still in the newspapers and you get the printed puzzle books and so on. Now I just do these online or these generated puzzles and so on. They've got an algorithm now to crank them out. I watch a channel where a guy solves them also. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. So that's 7, that's 7. So 7 could still be there, or there, so that doesn't help us. 7 could still be here or here. Oh, wait. So 7 can't be here. It can't be here. So it has to be in the middle. So that means this one can't be in the top or the middle. So this has to be a 7. YouTube, yeah, YouTube. I've watched a couple of those, or a few of those actually. I don't watch it regularly, but every once in a while, it's kind of interesting to watch him uh, with some really challenging uh, Sudoku puzzles. It's interesting. Okay, now this 7 can't be here and can't be here, so this has to be the 7 here. And let's see. Still don't know about this 7. Can't get this 7. All right. I got to know my 8s, 8, 8. Oh, okay, so 8, 8. So this has to be an 8, right? Because it can't be top or bottom, and it can't be on the right side, so it has to be over there. Square next to 7 is 9. Um, square next to 7 is 9. Um, let's see. Oh, this has to be 9, right? Yeah. And so that means this has to be 9. And so let's see. 9. So this has to be 9, right? And then this has to be 9. That's all our 9s. Okay. And let's see. 8s, we've got. No, wait a minute. There's no 8 here. It has to be in the top. It has to be in the top middle. It has to be an 8. Right. And let's see. That's all the 8s. 7s, we don't have very many 7s. I don't have quite enough 7s. Let's see. 6. Got most of the. Got all the 6s, I guess. Yeah. 5s. Got. Oh wait, there's not a 5 here or here. Can't figure those out. 5, 5. Oh, could be top or bottom. All right. Let's see. We need a 3 here, and it can't be here, so it has to be here. So this has to be the 4. All right, and yeah, it had to be the 4. And let's see. Need a 1 and a 5. Well, this can't be the 5, so this, yeah, it can't be the, oh wait. No, we don't need a 1 and a 5. We need a 1 and a 4. Sorry, 1 and a 4. So it could be either one. This also needs 1 and 4, 1 and 4. Don't have enough 1s and 4s. Let's see. It has to be 2. Yeah, it is. It is. It's next to the 6. Yeah. It's just above the. Uh, you know where all the 4s are. Okay. All right. So let's see. Really? You know where all the 4s are. Either one of those could be 4. 4, 1, 1, 4. 4, 1, 1, 4. 4, 1, 1, 4. How did you figure out where all the 4s are? 4 has to be over here. So that's square in the top right corner. Top right corner. The 4. Okay. So this can be. It has to be either 1 or 4 again. 1 or 4. This should be a 4. Because. Oh, 4 can't be here. That's right. 4 can't be here, so this has to be a 4. That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. And so this has to be 1, and this has to be whatever's left. 7. Okay. And so now this has to be the 4. And let's see. So, okay, 4. Let's see. So this has to be 1 because this has to be 3. Center square should also be 4. Center square should also be 4. Yeah, I see that now. Didn't see that until I decided that this had to be 1, though. But yeah, okay. And so this has to be 1. So this has to be 4. So this has to be 1. And this has to be 7. This has to be 1. Okay. All right. What else have we got going here? Let's see. Hmm. You said you know where all the 4s are. Okay, so 4, 4, 4, 4. How do you know whether this or this is a 4? You say you've got that figured out. So how do you know that where the 4s are? This could be 1 or this could be 1. So what we got left? 1, 2, 4, 7. 7, 7. So 7 has to be one of these two. Solve for 7 in the middle left square. All right. Yes, 7 has to be one of these two. Why? Why does this have to be 7? Why can't this be 7? Right, this is 7. This is oh. Because if this is 7, this could be 7. If this is 7, then this is 7. Because that one is either 1 or 2. This is either 1 or 2. 1, 2, 7. Well, there's 7. There's 1, 2. Oh. This has to be 7. So this has to be 7. So this has to be 4. Okay. Yeah, it had to be 1, 2, 7. So, okay. All right, gotcha. See, 1, 2. See, I need a 3 and a 5. I don't have either 3 or 5 down there, so that's not going to help. Let's see. So this has to be 1 or 2. This has to be 1 or 2, so I don't know that either. Let's see, what else we got going on here? Wait, 1, 2. Let's see. So 3 or 5. This has to be 2, right? 2, 3, 5 has to be one of those places. Or does it? Would this be 3? That could be 3. Let's see. 5 can't be here or here. Oh, 5 is already here. Okay. So I need, right, 1, 2, 3. No, that's what I need. 1, 2, 3. 3 isn't up there. All right, I'm getting lost here. Let's see. What is going on? Okay, we solve for all fours. The 1, 2. Why can't we figure out the 1, 2? This can't be 1. Then this has to be 1. One of these has to be 1. This has to be a 1 or 2. So those two have to be the 1, 2. So that's why this has to be the 3. Right? Which means this has to be the 3. Which means this has to be the 5, 5, 5. Which means this has to be the 5. Which means this has to be the 2. All right. What am I missing? 1, 2. Wait, if this is 1 and 2, 3, 4. So this has to be 4, and this is 3. Now, won't 1 and 2 fit either way in here? 1, 2, 1, 2. That's not a unique solution. I could have put 2, 1, 2, 1, and it would still come out the same. Interesting. Not a very good Sudoku. Should have been. I mean, there should. It's only good if there's a unique solution, right? I mean, if I 5 in the bottom right square. And I didn't. I mean, I suspected it a couple of places, but this. I mean, it comes right down to this was quite obvious, and that's kind of threw me. I was expecting to be forced to, I mean, into a unique solution, and yeah. All right. So yeah, that was medium play. Easy, super easy, very hard. No, not up to hard. We can try a hard one. This doesn't look that hard. Let's see what it says here. I mean, okay, the ones, so this has to be a 1 right away. I usually just go through and check check them in order to begin with. Let's see. It's important to make a nomenclature, row, column, and number. Yeah. three numbers. Okay. Row, column, right? Row, column, and then the number. Okay, that'll make sense. Okay, let's see. 3. Yep. And this has to be a 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we found that at the same time, didn't we? Yeah. Or you probably found it faster, but you had to type it in. This one has to be a 2 then, right? Oh, wait. Does it? Wait a minute. Hmm? 7, 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why does that have to be a 5? 5 can't go here. Couldn't this be 5? Because 3, 6 is 5. 3, 6 is 5. Yeah, that I see. But 7, 4, why couldn't it be 8, 4 be the 5? Yeah, this one I see. But this, I don't get yet. Um, this has to be 3. Because row 8 be 5. Oh, yeah. 5 has to be here. So that means this can't be 5, right? Okay. So what's this? 7. All right. That makes this 7. And that makes this 7. That makes this 3. And yeah, let's see. All right, let's see. So this has to be 6 and this has to be 7. 8, 4, 7. 8, 4, 7. Huh? No. 8, 4 can't be 7. There's a 7 there. There's 7 there. What? 8, 4, 7. Did 8, 9, 8, 4. No. 5, 4, 7. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Had me confused. Okay. Gotcha. So this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, right? 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. So this has to be 8. Is that all the 8s? No, we need an 8 over here. 8, 8. It has to be 8. Okay, there. That's all the 8s, right? 9, 9. This has to be 9. That means this has to be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. No. So this has to be 4. This has to be 6. This has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. 6, 7, 3, because 4, 2 is 3. All right, 4, 2 is 3, yeah. And so, yeah, 6, yeah, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. What's it, 6? 1, 7, 1. What's this, 5, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. All right, let's see what we got here. There or anywhere. Oh wait, here we go. What's this? This is 4. Finding our 4s. Okay. So this has to be 1, 5. Okay. Let's see. All right, what are we doing here? This has to, so this can be 7. And this has to be 6. This has to be 4 then. This is 6. Yeah, I get that feeling. This is 4 and 2. Yeah. Yeah. This is not the best Sudoku game out there, obviously. Yeah. I mean, it's all right, but no. All right. Oh, I've had puzzles that that have taken me more than an hour to finish. Um, and what's this? This was hard, right? This is hard. So very hard. Yeah, we could try very hard. Very hard. Sure with that. It still doesn't look that hard, does it? I mean, let's see. This is going to be a little bit more difficult here. Uh, yep. 644. Yeah. This has to be 3. So it means this has to be 3. This has to be 8. What else we got going? Um, Let's see. 4. Right. Right on, right on. Mm. Hmm. All right. So this has to be 2, clearly. Let's see. What am I missing here? Well, let's see. That's not panning out. Well.
Uh-oh, more Sudoku.
Yep, more Sudoku. Yeah, this has been helping me out here, but
I see. There you go. How you doing, Abyss? How's
we were cruising through I was doing the medium ones just to waste time, and Biss came on, so we did a hard one, and that went pretty well. But now we're at this very hard, and it's
oh no.
it's slowing us down a little bit here. Anyway, yeah. So
yeah,
let's.
Yeah, some people really are very good at Abyss and really, good at Sudoku and really love Sudoku. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So what's shaking down? You don't have any classes today, is that correct?
I never have classes on Wednesdays.
That's true. That's true.
Until the fall term, and then in the fall term I go to Kendai on Wednesday.
Great. Okay. You go to Wednesday, what period?
I think it's 4th and 5th.
Okay.
I'll have to check
great.
again.
Great.
Either 4th and 5th
okay.
or 3rd and 5th. Anyway, it's in the afternoon. Yeah.
Is that with the English department?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderbar.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It's a very beautiful weather, isn't it?
It
Here
is
in Kumamoto, Japan, but
it's
super
definitely
hot.
warm. Yeah, definitely. It's very warm.
Very warm, and at times very humid.
Yes. Not my favorite weather, but then again, it beats being too cold, I guess.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah,
Mm.
I'd rather have this than cold any day. Although I love skiing.
Yeah.
I love being in the snow. There's a difference. If you're skiing and if you're in the snow, right? You're dressed up, right? You're dressed for the weather. You can go into your house, right? With central heating, so it's a bit different, right? But here, right, it just gets cold with no snow. So I'd rather have this.
And I mean, Kumamoto, especially if you're in a traditional Japanese house, if it's 0 degrees outside, it's 0 degrees inside.
Yeah, if not more, right?
Right.
Sometimes it just gets colder inside.
Yeah.
It's like the concrete, and then the house, it just absorbs the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Daniel. Now, you said you have been going through these questions you found quite readily. We've gone through a lot of them.
Yeah.
But you found more, you said?
I mean, yeah, I found in different kinds of questions. I can show you what I found here.
The trolley problem, I see, is the title of this one.
Right,
Sounds
yeah,
interesting already. Yeah.
This one. And then I found this website, 120 unanswerable questions, mind-blowing questions. That's kind of interesting.
It's okay. Unanswerable questions, gotta love it.
Oh, unexpected error.
Bringing girdle, right?
Bringing girdle?
Bring in girdle. answer some unanswered questions,
There you go.
unanswerable questions.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this week is the trolley problem, right?
okay, well, on that note, see you later. I'm going to trolley on out. No, I'll do my best here. I have not seen this one
But you're,
iota of these questions this week or this situation.
mm,
So do be easy on us, Dan.
yeah. Well, but you are familiar with the trolley problem, right?
That's what I'm questioning right now. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I
Okay. Yeah.
think I think
This is very famous. So Philippa Foot, in 1967 brought this up. It was basically, it was talking about abortion, as part of an analysis. It says here as part of an
okay.
analysis on the debates on abortion and so on.
So is this kind of like the lifeboat game where you decide who gets to stay on the lifeboat and who has to leave? Is that
Something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
okay?
And there were so 1967. Philippa Foot is the one who made this mind this question popular, right? She's the one whose name is most closely associated with the trolley problem, but it has been around for a long time. As you can see, in 1905, a guy had a very similar question that he put on his a questionnaire given to undergraduates at the University of Wisconsin. So,
Okay. Wow. Wow.
yeah, so it's been around for a while.
I'm just looking here too on online, and I found Judith Thompson
Uh-huh.
of MIT
Right.
is also credited with coining the term the trolley problem.
Mm-hmm.
Thompson also posed an alternate scenario in which involves the question of whether a bystander on an overpass should throw a fat man over the rail to his death in order to stop a trolley below from
Right. Yeah.
killing the 5 people on the track.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The fat man. Yeah. The fat man problem. Yeah. Yeah. That's another one. But the basic. The most common way that this problem is presented is written here. So there's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks, and on the track there are 5 people tied up and unable to move. Right. The trolley is headed straight for them. You're standing some distance off. Next to a lever that will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice
Yeah.
that there's one person on the side track. You have 2 options, right? So obviously you have 2 options, right? Do nothing and allow the trolley to kill 5 people on the main track. Or if you pull the lever, you'll divert the trolley onto the side track where it will kill one person. Which is the more ethical option? Or simply, what is the right thing to do?
Yeah. Again, that's a hard problem. It's a hard question because you don't know anyone, right? You don't
Right,
know the 5 people, and you don't know the
right,
one person.
right,
So you could be saving 5, serial killers or what have you.
right.
Right. Or right. Or you could be saving one Hitler. I mean,
Exactly,
it,
exactly. That is, yeah, there are 5 Nobel Prize winners, that somehow got tied up and put on the railroad tracks, and Hitler's clone is the one
yeah.
who's walking along the one track. Yeah, you
Right.
don't
Right.
know. You
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
Hmm. We just have
But
five human lives versus one human life. And that's all the
right.
information we have.
So if we take your something that you've said on occasion, Dan,
Hmm.
the might makes right or the power of the masses.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if you take your chances and choose that at least 2 or 3 of those 5 will turn out to be good people or world changing people.
Hmm.
Is that kind of a way to look at it? So you're kind of hedging your bets there
I mean, yeah, certainly.
by
I mean, that
choosing
would.
the masses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we, regardless of individual variations and so on, if we take that, the value of any single human life is equivalent to any other human life, then yeah, the math comes out that yeah, if you can save 5 human lives, as opposed to only saving one. The moral thing to do would be to save the 5 human lives.
Mm-hmm.
The more value would be, the more value would be maintained. But
we don't know. You're absolutely right.
we don't know.
We don't know.
And the thing is, number one is like the do nothing option. Whereas number two, you are actively, so you're there, okay,
Ah,
you're in
yeah, yeah.
proximity, and yet you
Right,
haven't
right,
actually exerted any influence on the problem. Whereas
right,
number two requires you to actually become an active part of the situation.
right, right. And then once you become an active part of the situation, that could change everything, right? You
Exactly.
become part of the situation, right, right. Whereas if you did nothing, and I mean, you could even pretend not to see it
Right, right.
and
Yeah.
run away, and then right,
But is that
you
a moral thing to do? If you see
right.
if you see the chance
Yeah,
to
right.
save somebody and you say, "Oh no, I don't see that. I don't know what's going on." Is that a
Yeah.
moral thing to
Oh,
do?
I have no idea. Yeah, right, right. Is that a moral thing to do? Right.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I think I would probably, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could run away. I
yeah,
wouldn't be able to forget about it, first of all. Maybe
right.
you think you can run away and put it out of your mind and just move on with
Mm,
life as normal. But I don't think I'd be able to do that,
mm.
to be honest. I would probably go for number two,
Yeah,
pull the lever and,
a lot of people do. A lot of people, choose that. It's
mm,
like, yeah, five
yeah,
lies compared to one. That
right.
seems to be the moral, the ethical decision to make.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure though that I could actually pull the lever,
Hmm.
knowing that that if I hadn't pulled that lever, that person, one person would be alive, right? It was my action that caused a person to die. Um,
Right, right. I get what you're saying. So you got involved, and it would be
right,
your action, you're doing that
right,
one person would definitely die,
right.
thanks to you, right?
Whereas
Uh,
if I don't, if my choice is inaction to do
hmm.
nothing, then at least I could say, well, hey, if I mean, I just so happened to be there, if I had been watching this on television, unable to do something, so I mean, the fact that I'm aware of this, um, does that mean that I have a moral obligation to insert myself into the situation? That I'm not sure.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a really hard problem. It's a tough question, and I mean, I guess it would just have to be up to every individual
Yeah.
to act or not to act. Like you said, like
Mhm.
you don't think you could act knowing that you would definitely kill one person.
Right, right. Yeah,
Whereas,
it's
yeah,
like that, but interesting. You were talking about the fat man problem, right? Pushing the
right.
fat man onto the track,
Mm-hmm.
from the bridge above, and killing them, which is
Yep,
basically the same thing, trading one life for five. But
it
uh,
is.
surveys or psychological studies have shown that people are more likely to choose number two here to pull the lever, but uh, are less likely to choose pushing the fat man off of the bridge onto the to stop the train.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, because I mean,
That's
for one
interesting.
thing, it's a more direct thing. I mean, if you
Right. And
pull a
it takes
lever,
more exertion to push a guy, right?
well, I mean,
Whereas
I think it's less the exertion and more the directness of you
directness,
causing
okay.
the death, right? It's like,
Right, right.
with the one, there's a trolley that is going, and it is going to kill, five people or one person, depending on which way it goes down the track. But this fat person, this fat man on the bridge, you know, uh, he's a victim of circumstance in the same way that you are. He just happens to be there, and and you pushing him, I mean, that there's no way that would happen. I mean, that's your hands on his body causing his death, whereas if you pull the lever, it's still the trolley that is actually doing the killing, right?
Right, right. Yeah, gotcha, gotcha. That's right. You're actually
Okay.
causing him to go over. Yeah,
Right.
and uh, and therefore you're actually causing his death. Whereas, yeah, the lever, right, is more distanced, isn't it?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
more indirect. So,
Yeah.
uh, is there a
So
chance that the lever could actually fail? No, we don't know that either, right?
right. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, but I mean, actually, that would be, that would be the ultimate. I mean, that would be the great salvation. It's like, hey, hey man, I tried, but it didn't work, and so that way you end up you didn't kill anybody because you didn't pull the switch, or you
Right,
pulled the switch
right.
but it didn't kill anybody, and it
Uh-huh,
wasn't your
uh-huh.
fault that the mechanics failed, right? So hey, I did what I could.
Yeah, yeah. Did what I could. Gave it a shot. Tried
Yep,
it.
I gave it
Whoops.
a shot.
The lever failed.
Yeah,
Oh well. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could definitely. I don't think I could push a guy off of a bridge, fat,
yeah.
thin, indifferent, tall, whatever. I don't. I couldn't do it. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, that would.
All right.
So in this case, I'm probably more with all the masses, the
Yeah,
general
yeah.
consensus, I suppose, right?
I
Because
mean,
yeah,
it,
it's
it
just
seems to be the prevalence of people do choose to pull the lever. Like I said, I really don't know. I mean, I think that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, until
hmm
you're faced with such a situation, you can't really know for sure. But I just suspect of myself that I would not pull the lever, um,
yeah,
simply because by doing that action, by like I said, by inserting myself into this, even though I am from a certain standpoint, because of my proximity to a possible solution, or involvement, simply by being in that area, I am part of that scenario, right? But
yeah,
still actually putting my hand on the lever, and making a change that causes the death of somebody, even though it saves the lives of 5 people. The fact that it causes the death of one would be the thing that would be, would stick with me,
right.
stronger, more strongly.
And
Whereas,
and it's not a maybe killing one; it's an absolute.
right. Whereas, yeah, if the 5 people are killed, it's like, well, there was nothing that I did. It was something that I didn't, I didn't
hmm
save them, but I didn't tie them up and put them on the rails. I did not, send the trolley, down the tracks toward them, right? And, there was nothing that in my actions that caused that. It was my inactions, and so I could
Yeah.
I could live with myself, by faulting through inactions more easily than I can faulting myself through action, I guess.
Some people say that's just as important, right? If you're, you
I
know,
mean, yeah,
complicit in the
right, yeah,
situation,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And yeah, don't
You know
do
something
anything,
bad is
and
going on
yeah,
and you do nothing, then
you don't.
you're just as guilty.
You're just as guilty. Yeah. So let me take this scenario just a step further, Dan, just a
Mhm.
little bit. So you wouldn't pull the lever.
Right.
Would you stick around to I guess this is not in the scenario. I'm just, wondering, would you
Mhm.
stick around to see what happens, or would you run away at that point? Like if you would,
Um,
I mean, it doesn't
I would
really.
probably, let's see, what would I do? Yeah, I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't think I would run away. You
Yeah,
know,
right. Maybe.
uh, I'm wondering if I would run toward, where the accident is happening. If I can, obviously, I can see all this, coming into all this happening, right? So I might, go toward there to see if I can offer any aid. I mean, obviously, they're going to be, I don't know, there's going to be body
Yeah,
parts
right.
strewn all over the place. So maybe I don't want to. I don't know.
So I guess they definitely die, right? There's no
Yeah, that
chance of.
that is the
Yeah.
assumption. Yeah, that the people
hmm
on the main track will, kill the 5 people on the train on the main track. Yeah,
I don't know if I would be able to watch that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if I'd be
granted,
able to watch. I don't know if I'd be able to turn away. It's
you're
like,
right. That's true too.
yeah,
It's just a very hard question, and I can see why it's an impossible question to answer to end with a complete answer, right?
Right. Now there are all kinds of variations on this. One of them is okay. Take for example, there are you're in a situation where you have, for example, five people who need transplants, organ transplants, in order to be able to live. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have one person, a healthy person, who has compatible organs for all those five people. Now,
Right.
would you kill the one healthy person in order to transplant,
Mm,
give their organs and save the lives of those five?
right, right. What about the person? Do they have a choice? Because they
Uh,
might say, well, hey,
no, they. I mean,
I
you're
could.
you're making the choice. You're making the
Oh, right.
choice.
Yeah. Very similar issue, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Killing one person to save five people. It's a really, really tough one.
But before you said that you would probably pull the lever. Would you decide to kill a healthy person to save five who need transplants?
Yeah, again, it goes back to the knowing each person or the five people, right? Knowing who the five people are, knowing the one person.
Mhm.
Yeah, I may. Does this one person have any other problems, or is it just a healthy person?
Healthy person.
Wow, man, that is so hard, right?
Yeah.
Well, that is so hard. My gosh, right?
I
I
mean, for
guess I
me,
would go for the masses. Yeah, again, right?
really, okay. See, for me, I mean that
It'd
one. I
be
mean,
hard though.
I'm influenced by the fact that, I mean, we know that transplants have, I mean, are not 100% guaranteed. They're even with the perfect, or
Sure.
as the tissue match is as good as possible, it's still not guaranteed that it's going to take it. So, to take one healthy life, and these other people after the transplants are going to be on yeah, immunosuppressant drugs for the rest of their lives, so that they don't reject the foreign tissue and so on.
Well, let's
Uh,
say, yeah, barring all of that, I mean,
mm,
let's just say everything is perfect. I know everything would work out
okay, yeah.
incredibly fine, right? With all
Right.
the other
Okay, so we're at a
ifs.
point now where you could harvest the organs from a healthy person and put them into five people who need those organs, and they would then become perfectly healthy.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's a tougher one because it's rather than, ending a life that's going to for sure end, you're taking it the opposite direction, right? So it's,
right.
you
Yeah.
know,
They're going to die, and you're saving them, right?
right,
And one person who's not going to die, you're killing.
right.
Mm. Again, I couldn't do it. I don't
Okay.
think I could do
Yeah.
it. If five people would live, and but yeah, I don't think I could,
It's a
because
really
again,
hard one.
if there is, whatever suffering or misfortune, that occurs
Hmm.
from my from my inaction, again, that's easier for me to live with than the suffering caused by my action. So
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Can I read you this cool thing I just found in
Okay.
relation to the COVID-19 pandemic?
All right.
The trolley problem is invoked in political decision making and has surfaced in discussions concerning the responsive leaders to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm reading on the Merriam Webster website
Mm-hmm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
just so everybody knows. And the moral implication of taking action that could reduce overall harm while endangering a select number in the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the technology sector, a scenario that closely resembles a literal trolley problem comes up with regard to autonomous vehicles and how to program them to harm the fewest number of people in the event of an inevitable collision.
Mm.
Both of those are interesting, right?
Yep. Yeah. Another interesting one, I think I've got it here. Real life incident.
Oh,
An actual case
that's
approximating the
cool.
trolley driver dilemma occurred on June 20th, 2003, when a runaway string of 31 unmanned Union Pacific freight cars was barreling toward Los Angeles along the main line track number one. To avoid the runaway train from entering the Union Pacific yards in Los Angeles, where it would not only cause damage, but was also where a Metrolink passenger train was thought to be located, dispatchers ordered the shunting of the runaway cars to track 4 through an area with lower density housing of mostly lower income residents.
Hmm.
The switch to track 4 was rated for 15 miles per hour transits, and dispatch knew the cars were moving significantly faster, thus likely causing a derailment. The train, carrying over 3,800 tons of mostly timber and building materials, then derailed into the residential neighborhood in Commerce,
Gosh.
California, crashing through several houses on Davie Street. The event resulted in 13 minor injuries, including a pregnant woman asleep in one of the houses who managed to escape through a window and avoided serious injury from
Wow.
the lumber and steel train wheels that fell around her.
Wow.
So
Wow.
somebody actually faced the trolley problem, right?
Somebody actually faced the trolley problem. My
Yeah.
gosh, yes. That was whoa.
I mean,
That's
this was real life because there was no
so
guarantee that the people would have, that the
the
Metrolink
train.
passenger train. It's no
Yeah,
guarantee that those people would have been killed or injured. It's no guarantee that anybody would have been killed or injured on Davie Street where they rerouted the train. But there was the high likelihood, which is
high
what
likelihood. Yeah.
which is that's one of the problem with these, with the trolley problem, is that in order to be clear, in order for it to be a clear, thought experiment, you have these absolutes. The 5 people will die, or the
Hmm.
1 person will die. I mean,
Right.
it's given 100%. That's what the results are. When you were talking about the COVID thing,
Right.
yeah, vaccinations in order to save the majority of people. And yes, we know that the likelihood is that a certain number of people, a relatively, a very low percentage, but a certain number of people could have, and
Hmm.
probably most likely will have, some severe reaction to the vaccine, right? I
Hmm.
mean,
Hmm.
people have gone into anaphylactic shock from the vaccine. People have had, serious side effects from the vaccine, and we know that. And yet
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
still, have produced the vaccine, distributed, and encourage people to get it.
Yeah. No,
It
you're
that
right.
is a
You're right.
trolley. It is a trolley problem. It
It is a
really
trolley
is.
problem. It really is. That's right. That's right. Again, because there's no definite outcome, right?
Mm,
That's why I wanted to make your scenario of the transplants more definite there, right?
right.
They're
Yeah.
definitely going to survive in perfect health.
Yeah.
But so, what was the death toll on that train? The
Nobody
passenger
died.
train. Nobody
No
died, right?
injuries. There were
Okay, yeah,
13 injuries, but it says minor injuries. 13
minor
minor
injuries.
injuries. So they were lucky.
Very lucky, and that's great that it turned out like that.
Right. But what, I mean, can you imagine what the news would have been saying? I mean, even this. So they chose, rather than the train, the runway train, to go through the Union Pacific yards in Los Angeles, where they thought that there was a passenger train stopped.
Hmm.
Rather than do
Hmm.
that, they sent it through lower density but mostly low income
That just
neighborhoods.
seems like a kind of a yeah, an iffy choice, right? That
Yeah,
just seems like a bad choice, right? Because I can't imagine had it killed people or what have you, had it caused more disruption in
yeah.
that situation. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, what if it was in a
Uh,
different section, going through a residential, a high income residential area? Would they have made the same choice? Now that's, to me, the interesting
right.
question.
That's exactly. Exactly. That's what enters my mind too. It's a very sticky issue, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I guess there's no other way they could have done it, I guess, huh?
Oh, I
That
mean,
was
those are their
yeah,
choices to
those
let
are
it
the
go through,
choices,
or
yeah.
or to send it through this low density populated area, residential area,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
but low income.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay. That's not cool. I mean, neither one of them are cool. And I mean, it's just such a hard situation. It seems to me that there should have been or might have been another kind of trolley problem, Dan, in reality. No? Is that the only reality?
This is the one, that I'm aware of. I mean, there may be others, but I'm not aware of them.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah. It's a hard one. It's a harsh one. Very, very difficult problem, right? Yes. And, okay, this is a real life interest incident. Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Again, it's which is the more ethical question, and we go back to ethics, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there have been so many of the variations. So take for example, people that are in a cave or so. Okay, so they've gone into this cave, cave exploring or whatever, a group of people, and so I can't remember exactly, but the basic idea is a group of people go into this cave, they're exploring, and then something happens, the rock shift or something like that, and so the only exit from this cave has now become narrower, and there's a fat woman or something, so a fat woman, or if you want to, raise the level, for example, a very pregnant woman who becomes lodged, inextricably lodged in the
Hmm.
cave entrance, because of the shift in the rocks or whatever while they were in there. And there's, whatever the situation is, there's the implication is that there's a limited amount of time to get the people out. And so if the woman stays there in the, there, that the remaining people, say 5 people, are going to die because they can't get out of the cave. But you have, so for example, a low grade explosive that you could use to
Well, to kill.
yeah, kill her, get her, widen the opening again, so that everyone could escape,
Yeah,
but it would kill her. So what are you gonna do?
right. That's another sticky issue, man.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course. And then you have two lives, right?
right.
Because
Yeah, if
it's
it's
a
a
pregnant
pregnant woman,
woman.
yeah.
So gosh, yeah.
All right,
I
now,
couldn't do that. I mean,
oh,
explosives are, I think that would just make it too difficult for me to do, right? I mean,
but okay, so you're one of the
flying body parts.
you're one of the 5 people stuck inside there, right? And this woman
Yeah, yeah,
cannot, there's no way that she can get out, right? So
right.
and so she's probably going to die too. I mean, the implication, so
Because she's stuck anyway,
right,
right?
she's stuck, right? She
Oh,
can't get
oh
out of
my
there, right?
gosh.
Okay.
Right. Uh-huh.
So now it's not a choice of 1 or 5, it's a choice of one
Or
or
seven, right?
yeah, 6 or 7, yeah, yeah, so yeah,
6 or 7. It's
yeah,
a choice of two or
two or
seven, right?
two or
Yeah.
7, yeah,
Eventually seven, right?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a really tough one.
Mm,
Very, very hard one. Yeah, I can imagine myself being one of those five stuck
mm,
below, and I'm sure people would be screaming, right?
mm.
Do it.
You know, I mean, in that situation, I mean, you heard me. I'm, from my action, killing someone, even though it might save more people. But in this case, where, you know, the eventual outcome is going to be either, the pregnant woman and 5 other people dying, or only the pregnant woman and her unborn child dying. So
Yeah.
there, I mean, so it's like,
Again, it's the masses, isn't it? The power of the masses, maybe
well, I
some
mean, even
people
more
would
than that,
say.
there's no, you're minimizing the loss, right? You're absolutely, I mean, you're not only, I mean,
Yeah,
you may be
physically
yeah, you may
minimizing.
be
Yeah.
expediting, the death of one person, but from that situation, that person's death was inevitable,
Hmm.
whereas the death of the other five people was not determined yet
Hmm.
because there
Hmm.
was another choice. For the one person, there is no choice. It's either
Mm.
die by whatever starvation or whatever from by being stuck there, or die from being blown up, right? So it's
Hmm.
die
Hmm.
or die. So in that case, I think I could do it. In that case, I think I could.
Okay, I see. I got you. Yeah, minimizing it, right? Yeah.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I see. I got you.
But a couple of times, what did I wanted to ask you here? A couple of times, you talked about, well, if you don't, I don't know any of these people, and so but what
Hmm.
if you did? What if you did know these people, some of those people, right? Now, take the original trolley problem. Let's say that uh, the one person, but you don't know the five.
Right, right.
Okay,
Okay.
five strangers versus somebody that you know.
Right, right, right. That would make it undoubtedly, harder. Undoubtedly harder, right? But yeah, depending on what kind of person it was, of course, but
Okay.
no, I think I couldn't do it if I knew the person. No, no, no way.
Mm,
Uh, how about if I knew the five people under the pregnant woman, all of them, perhaps, but didn't know her? What about that, Dan?
okay. Yeah. What if yeah, what if you knew all of it? What if this was a group of people that everybody knew?
Everyone.
Yeah.
I knew everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be incredibly hard. Very, oh my god.
All
I think
right.
I would run away at that point.
Okay. How about this situation? This is another one that I read just recently. Okay. Um, let's say, okay, so
Wait, wait, wait. Sorry, before you go in, I keep that, but I just want to go like, if I try, I know all of them, and if I
uh-huh.
try with all my might to pull her out and what have you, uh, but I have a chance of dying also,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Hmm.
maybe I probably would. Maybe I
Hmm.
would go with that one. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? If you're
Like
gonna try with
if I'm on the outside, and I'm pulling her out physically with my own two hands,
uh-huh.
trying with all my might to free her and all the five other people below,
Mm,
uh, but to no avail, and everybody would die, including me.
mm-hmm.
I would I would probably do that
Mm. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get
because
you.
you know what I mean. It would be with my trying and not, but although not succeeding.
Mm, mm. Okay. All right. Well, here's another
Yeah.
one. Oh, so I think maybe wait.
Okay.
Oh yeah, in this one, the original one from 1905, right? Um,
Right.
so Frank Chapman Sharp included a version, a more questionnaire given to undergraduates at the University of Wisconsin in 1905. In this variation, the railway switchman controlled the switch. So it's the railway switchman who controls the switch. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the
So you
lone
you have to tell him what to do.
no,
Is
no,
that?
no, no, no. It's
Uh-huh.
his decision. It's his
Okay,
decision.
okay,
And
okay.
the lone individual to be sacrificed or not, right? The one person on the side track, right, was the
Hmm.
switchman's child.
Woo!
Okay, so if he doesn't pull the switch, five people die. If he pulls the switch, his child dies.
Right, right.
That was
Oh
that was
my
the
God.
question that was the question that Frank Chapman Sharp put on his questionnaire to the undergraduates. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that right? Wow, oh my golly, that is just again, it's like a question with no answer. I mean, yeah, it's, oh my gosh. What did most students respond? If do you have that
That I don't
information?
have. I don't have the data from that questionnaire. I don't know.
Right, right. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Uh, like, of course, if we don't know the people, right?
mm. You
Again,
don't. Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
my child,
Right, right. Yeah.
but I would save more people.
Exactly. Before it was,
Right.
might makes right, and you were ready to pull the switch, right? But now it's
Yes.
by
Yes.
pulling the switch, you
Just
kill your child. So what would you
kill
do?
my own child. My gosh. It's I perhaps couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no.
Well, for me, I couldn't do it either. I
You
mean,
couldn't do it
like I said,
either way, right?
yeah, like I said, even if I don't know the
Yes.
person, I can't condemn. Through my actions,
Right.
I don't think I could feel
That's
comfortable.
that's a good point. Through your actions, that is a very,
Yeah,
very good point.
yeah, um,
Um,
yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
really hard to do that, wouldn't it? Through
I
your
think
own
so.
actions,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
How about this one? The scenario is okay. You have a teenage daughter, and
Okay.
she is close friends with your niece. Okay, with a yeah, she close friends with a niece. Okay, with your niece. Okay, um, and so these are both family members. One is your daughter. One is your niece. Okay,
Right.
and whatever you're at a beachside resort or something like that, just or you your beachside home, right? And you're there with your daughter and your niece, and you're busy doing something, and they go out and to swim, okay? And something happens. There's they're unaware that for example, there's been storms lately or something, and so the undercurrents in that area are stronger than normal. Anyway, the point is there's a dangerous situation in the water. Both your daughter and your niece are in danger of drowning, right? It looks like they are drowning, okay?
Oh, wow.
Okay. And you know you're a good swimmer, not an expert swimmer, of course, but you're a good swimmer. Um, but it looks like, by your calculation, you won't have the time or the strength to go back, go out, rescue one, and go back out again and rescue the other one, either because
Right.
they will drown before that, or simply because you don't have the strength to do that. Which
Hmm.
one do you save?
Yeah. Okay. That's a tough one. I'm sure most people would probably say their own daughter, maybe, but of
Right,
course, if it's your niece, it's probably your sister or brother's child or your.
right, right.
So it's really a sticky issue. And then, of course, you have to bring in the question of adoption, right? Maybe if your niece was adopted, maybe it's not
No, no,
blood
no.
or
Let's say that it's your
blood
brothers
relatives.
or your
Oh my
sisters.
God. My
It's your
God.
sister's
Yeah.
blood relative child, right? And so this is somebody. So both of them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you would choose your own child, and
My God. Don't mark me at that. I mean, I'm just saying most people probably would. And
yeah,
uh,
okay,
um, yeah,
all, all
I
right,
mean,
all right. What if?
it's
Okay, what if?
I would love
Um,
to save them both if possible.
yeah, okay, all right.
Just keep
So
talking for a second. I got to get some water, so
okay.
I'll be listening. I'm just gonna run up and get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So, let's say we've got this situation, we've got, the a person's, your daughter and your niece, right? So your daughter's cousin, I guess it would be, are swimming and both in danger of drowning because of whatever the situation that has occurred in the water there. Okay. Now let's give more information to this scenario. Let's say that your daughter is a strong swimmer, right? whereas your niece is not. Your niece is known to be a much weaker
Okay.
swimmer.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got you. I got you on that. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Um,
I would probably encourage my daughter to swim faster and try to make it on her own. Can I do that? Then and save the niece.
okay. So in that situation, right, it's not clear that your daughter. I mean, it looks, on their own, it looks like, both of them would drown. That they're both going to need your help.
Couldn't do that. Couldn't let him drown, right?
Right. I mean, without your assistance, your evaluation of the situation is that they are both going to drown if you don't assist them. Okay. Now,
Right.
but you know that your daughter is a stronger swimmer, so that she can probably, tread water, whatever, more efficiently, more, for a longer period of time than your niece could. Okay. Um, might be able to survive longer than the niece could,
Hmm.
but no
Hmm.
guarantees that, so would you rescue the niece, bring her back in, and make another trip out all that time, not knowing whether, your daughter is going to be able to survive for that amount of time?
I would try. Yes, sure, sure. I mean, yeah. If that's the case, uh, they. I mean, I think I would try. Although, it might make. And they always tell people, right, in like an airplane, if you run out of oxygen, take your own oxygen first,
Hmm.
because you'll be able to help your kids should they need oxygen, right?
Right.
They say don't put the oxygen mask on your kid first, on
Right.
your child first, because if you do that, then you might something might happen to you, and then you won't be able to care for your child, right?
Right.
So I think, hopefully my daughter will be able to, of course, tread water enough to survive. I would uh, I might put my, or I mean, if I even if some people may say, even if they weren't sure that they would save their own daughter, uh, regardless, right? I
Mm-hmm.
would probably try to put effort into the first scenario, right? Saving the niece and having the daughter tread water, and try our best as much as possible to make it. Although, yeah, that's such a tough question,
Right. Right.
right? Because I have a niece and a daughter, right? So
Right. Yeah.
it's extremely difficult, and what
Yeah.
a hard question.
Well,
And I
that's okay.
mean,
I'm sending
yeah, I
copies to
mean,
both of
God,
them right after this,
like,
right? I'm gonna clip this section of the broadcast and send it off to your daughter and your niece there and say,
don't you dare! I I would want to say both of them in the same shot, if at all possible, right?
but that would probably result in all three of you drowning, because saving two people. I mean, lifeguards don't even do that, right? I mean, they
Yeah,
they
yeah,
go out, they save one at a time because it's just impossible.
it's
You can't,
impossible.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
but then again, she's my own daughter,
right.
so I may, and the fact that she can tread water more is a positive thing. So we would definitely make it more likely if I were to save her,
Right.
right?
So you're just
And
giving up
then
on the niece.
see, that's the whole problem, man. That's the whole big thing. No, couldn't do that either, man.
Hmm.
No, no. I guess. My gosh, like, how about you, Dan? What would you do?
I don't know.
It's such a hard one.
It's very hard. I mean, in actuality, yeah, it would really be hard, because I mean, I'm not that confident in my own, ability to swim. I mean, I can swim, but I'm not sure how effective I would be, trying to rescue someone. A teenage girl.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah, I know. I think I could. I think I could actually, right? If I
Yeah,
were to, if I were put in that situation, right?
yeah.
Yes. Uh, But again, it's like, and that situation may have actually turned up in real life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm
I
sure
mean,
it
it sounds
has.
like a realistic situation, and it's,
Yeah,
my gosh, right?
yeah,
It's really, really hard. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, the trolley problem. There's so many variations on this trolley problem that.
Many, many variations.
Have you seen The Good Place?
I've watched, yeah, one or two episodes. I haven't been able to, stay with it as much as I wanted to, but I do want to get back to that. Yeah. It's a
Well,
good one. It's a good one.
yeah. I think it is maybe the best series ever made. I mean, in my opinion, I really really like it. Yeah.
It's a very creative series. It's a television series for those watching who don't know of it. The Good Place, yes.
Hmm.
I think it's interesting enough to go over the scenario, Dan. Could you run that down for everyone?
What, the
Everyone
trolley problem?
watching? No, no, no. The Good Place,
Oh, The
the
Good Place. Yeah,
situation, just in
yeah,
case
yeah.
people don't know it. Yeah.
So, in The Good Place, so not giving away any spoilers, I don't think, because so the situation is, so The Good Place, of course, is you know the good place, right, as opposed to the bad place. Okay, so it
Which
starts.
everyone probably has some idea what it is already,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
in this situation, it starts out with a young woman who, she opens her eyes, and she's called into, it looks like an office or whatever, and she's talked to, and she's told that she is dead, right, and that she is in the good place, and so her name is Eleanor Shellstrop, right? And she's you are they tell her you are dead, right? But you're in the good place, right? And she's, oh, that's good, right? And so she's happy about that. But then very very quickly she figures out that she has been mistaken for somebody else. That the when they're talking about the things that she did when she was
Hmm.
alive don't match with her actual life, right? The person, the Eleanor Shellstrop that they think that she is some kind of a civil rights lawyer or something like that, and doing all kinds of these altruistic deeds all over the world and so on, and different things like that. And this Eleanor was, basically Arizona trash bag, is the way she describes herself, right? So so she realizes quite quickly, as they're talking about the things that she did while she was alive, that they're not talking about her, they're talking about somebody else.
Yeah, it's
And
quite funny her realization of that, right?
right,
I
right, yeah,
remember that
yeah.
whole scenario, right? Yeah, but go ahead.
But anyway, so then it's her her initial reaction is, well, I don't want to go to the bad place. If they find out that they got the wrong person here, they may
Right.
end up. So she's trying to figure out a way to stay in the good place, and so one of the other main characters there is a young man who was an ethics philosopher, moral ethics. That was his entire life, was studying and teaching ethics at the university, and she becomes friends with him, or actually, they're supposed to be um, soulmates, right? They're thought to be soulmates, and so when she's talking to him, when she first meets him, as a soulmate and so on, she says, oh, you'll stick with me through anything, right? No matter what happens in the future, you'll always stick with me and support me, And he says, of course I will, of course. She said, well, I'm not supposed to be here, they've got me mixed up with somebody else, so
Yeah.
what should I do? And he's like panicking then, right? Because he's he's a
As an
Kantian,
ethics
right?
person, right?
An
Yeah.
ethics person. He's made a promise to support this person, and now he finds out that she's lying to, or she's not even supposed to be there. So anyway, that's the way it starts out, and it just gets more and more interesting from there. It's quite interesting. But there's
So
a lot of talk about philosophy, moral philosophy, and so on. So it's really interesting.
it's a good show, very good show, very well written. Yeah.
You know?
Um, in that scenario, Dan, what would you do? Would you spill the beans or would you keep the secret?
Um, I would. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would probably, try and see, what I could do to stay. Sure. I mean, yeah, going to the bad place doesn't sound like a good choice at all, you know.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
and
So would
yeah,
you think about because it could be good entertainment, I mean, in a way for you to do that, right? Would that enter into your decision at all? Like just
I,
keeping it a secret just to kind of see what happens?
yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah,
just to kind of see what happens.
like in a fun way.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, right.
But I mean, the difficulty comes if I really believe that I was taking someone else's place who deserved to be there,
Hmm.
right? Which is,
Right, 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 right,
so
right. Yes.
they think that I'm somebody else. So the person that they're describing, okay, so where are they? Am I mistakenly taking their place, and they are in the bad place while I'm in the good place in their stead? So that would cause me, some difficulties.
That would be hard,
Yeah.
sure.
Mm.
So how about if you were, and this kind of like almost sort of like finders keepers, losers weepers kind of scenario, isn't it? Sort of.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you were walking along the street, Dan, and you found $100 bill or an Ichima yen, 10,000 yen bill in our case here in Japan, would you keep it or would you turn it into the nearest police box or police station?
That's difficult. Yeah, I'd be torn. Actually, I would definitely be torn. I mean, if it was just a piece of paper money, lying on the street.
Hmm.
No, I mean, so all money looks alike. It's not really identifiable. So that would be hard. I guess I would probably Ichiman yen. I would probably take it to the police.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, if it was coins, 100 yen, 500 yen, I
Yeah,
would I
yeah,
would pick that up and put it in my pocket. 1,000 yen, it's like, then it depends on how close the police station is. A
right. You
thousand
have
yen.
to
So
go out
like
of your way.
a $10 bill, right?
Yeah,
If it was a
yeah,
$10
$10
bill,
bill, right.
then yeah, it depends on how much effort. If it's like, okay, this is more effort than it's worth, to me. I mean, I
Hey, all
probably would,
right.
would just stick it in my pocket.
Right. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, anything that's identifiable, I would definitely take. So, for
Yes,
example,
sure, sure.
I walking home one night, I found a brand new iPhone
Wow.
on the sidewalk. Right,
You're
brand
kidding
new,
me.
brand new
Wow.
iPhone.
All right.
And but it was in a case, right? It was in a
Okay.
case, and
Sure.
in fact, I think there was a Kumamoto University student ID in the case, right? And so then it was like, obviously, no question. I just took it, right. Yeah, there happened to
Sure.
be on top of that, there happened to be a police box, on my way home, and so I just stopped by there and said, "Hey, I picked this up on the sidewalk. And it's
Well,
got an
that's cool. That's
ID in
great.
it." So yeah,
Good. Yeah.
yeah.
Being
But yeah,
and that
those
would
things,
happen
if
anyway.
it's
Yeah.
identifiable, if
Right.
it's unique or identifiable, something like that, that's a no-brainer. But when it's generic, there's no identifying marks and so on, that gets to be tricky,
Hmm.
for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I found a pair of iPhone headphones
uh-huh.
once on campus,
Hmm.
just lying there, looked brand new, right?
Mm.
It was just a lightning adapter, and I took it to the office, of course, but I can see how someone, maybe a student or something, may walking along may have picked it up,
Mm.
right? Or someone may have just picked it up, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of a nondescript item, but it's on campus also, so you know you want to, maybe somebody did lose it and did try to find it
Mm.
after, so you want to think about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I found, what was it? I mean, well, I found student IDs and driver's licenses, several times and so on, taking them into the office. But what was it I found? It was oh, this is years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I found uh, a Walkman back in the cassette tape days, a really nice Walkman.
Wowza.
Yeah,
I
and it
remember
was
those.
yeah, and it wasn't on the school campus, but it was off campus, but it was close enough that it was, more or less likely that it was going to be somebody at the university and probably a student, given that it was a Walkman and so on. And that, of course, there was no way, there was no identifying marks on it. It was just your generic Walkman and so on, relatively new, and yeah, there was a cassette tape inside it
What
that
was the tape? Do you remember?
I can't
Just out of
remember.
curiosity.
I can't remember.
Uh,
I can't remember. I think it was like a mixtape. Somebody put it
oh,
together
okay.
themselves. I don't think it was a commercial tape. And um, yeah, of course, I mean, it was really nice. It was really a nice walk, and better than anything that I had at that time. But of course, I took it in. Took it into the school office, and somebody did come looking for it eventually, I guess. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah, sure, sure, sure. I mean, I think a lot of people would take it in, and yeah, then ethically they would probably feel better about it anyway, right?
All right. What if you found a bag of money?
Now we're getting into that movie. What was it? Simple Plan?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you do? What would you do if you found a bag of money?
Yeah, I think I would have to try to take it to the authorities just because
Mhm.
it would be too weird. And not knowing where it came from, I, just would feel too strange about it. And I'd probably feel either bad or negative for trying to use it or save it, you
Right.
know.
Right.
I think I would have to try to take it in, and then that would clear my mind anyway, right?
Mm. But I mean, doesn't it seem suspicious? So for example, an unmarked bag, and
Yeah,
not like a
totally.
bank, bag, that's marked and so, but an unmarked bag, um, somewhere. I mean, would
That's
you
true.
even touch it? Would you even touch
Well,
it?
yeah, good question. Because if it maybe it's from a bank robbery and somebody lost it, and no one knows my story from anyone else's story, right?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Or what if it was, well, what if it's some, criminal organization money that somebody, grabbed and they were being chased or whatever, threw it off the side there, and they were
Right.
possibly coming back to
Wasn't
get it
that the
later.
simple plan scenario? I think that
Something like
somebody,
that. Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that would be tough too.
I
That would
mean,
be really hard. And then
see,
even if you were just not even to touch it and just tell a policeman about it, they would
mm,
probably say like, "Well, how do you know about that?"
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Or
that's a possibility. Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
yeah.
if
Do
I
you, do
would
you want to
touch
get
it.
involved? But then again, okay. I mean, if all right, okay, so let's say you're walking somewhere, you're on one of your nature hikes, right, through the hills or whatever, right? And
Hmm.
off to the side of the path there, you see something, right, that attracts your attention. You don't know what it is, and so you go off there, right? And as you're going through there, it's a little bit muddy or this, that, and the other thing anyway, so you're leaving obvious tracks to that place, right? Okay.
Right. Right.
So then, if you don't say anything, right? If you don't say anything and somebody else finds it, and then that's like, okay, there's evidence of you having been there.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
you're
Right.
incriminated
Uh-huh.
if it's a criminal activity.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's very, very true.
So then
Uh,
do you say, oh, I don't want to touch this, or do you say, well, I mean, just by going over and looking, you've already involved yourself
you
on a
have,
certain
right.
level. Yeah.
And then if you pick it up and take it in, then that would cause more question, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and even if you were just to bring someone there and look at it, still that would cause questions too, wouldn't it?
Right. Right.
But then again, how about this? If you had your mother was in the hospital or your wife with medical problems and you have medical bills and you have bills due, right? You can't meet your monthly payments, and this money would be perfect, right? Uh, how about in that scenario, Dan?
Um,
It's like the money
it's a
that
gift
you
from
need,
God. It's a
right?
gift from God.
The money that you need to, right? Yeah, to pay off all these bills, boom, and have a little bit extra.
I was
How about that?
praying for that just yesterday, and here there's money laying on
Here it
the
is.
ground waiting for me. Yeah, it's a
Right.
miracle.
It's a miracle. Yeah. Then you have to think, well, this is too good to be true, and it's right.
Yep.
Not mine, first of all.
Right. Yeah. Definitely not mine. Yeah.
I think if you were to take it in or at least notify the authorities and hopefully on their good graces you would get a reward, right?
Hmm. I would hope
That-
so. Yeah.
you would hope so, and possibly that's how I would do it. But
Yep.
yeah, then you're, of course, no matter what you do, it's a hard situation.
It's tricky. It's very tricky. Yeah.
It's tricky.
There's this is from a website that I found.
Okay.
28
28.
top moral dilemma questions.
Whoa. Maybe we should focus on this for a while in
This is
upcoming broadcasts. Or
okay.
are there a few interesting ones in there, or
Well, okay. So let me give you just the titles here.
okay.
The unfaithful friend.
Okay.
A difficult
I take it
choice.
that's, yeah, letting the wife or husband know that
Right.
someone's being
Right.
unfaithful, right?
Right. A
Sure.
difficult choice. I can't remember what that one's about. An office theft. An office theft.
Hmm. Right, right. Okay.
Midnight death. Get rich. That's kind of what you were talking about. Get rich. Telling a secret. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
others. Moral dilemma scenarios. The lifeboat.
Ah,
Sarca-
the lifeboat, I know
yeah,
that.
sarcastic friend. Hit and run. Third strike is talking about a child that's got in trouble with the law, and so on. Reward, a job well done, and
Hmm,
so on.
hmm.
So there are 28 of these moral dilemma questions.
So the one we did today is in there?
The trolley problem? No, I
Yeah,
don't think
no,
so.
okay. So
No,
that's
that's
different. Okay.
yeah, that's different. I mean, that's one that I mean, that's a
You
famous.
kn Right, you knew of that one, so I
Mm.
see, I got you. But yeah, we could do that if you want to. Those,
Um, other
uh, I
other
mean,
things that I had looked at. These are deep conversation topics I was looking at, but they're not quite what they're. I mean, the fun deep conversation topics maybe, but the for dating couples, married couples, for teens, and then the fun ones down
okay.
at the bottom. Um, Fun conversation topics. Um, what do you think the world will be like in 25 years? I don't think these are all that deep, though. Yeah,
Right.
these
Yeah,
these
those
these are
are.
conversation topics, but they're not really deep. At least the ones down at the bottom here. Some of the others between married couples or dating couples, some of those are interesting. But
Hmm.
yeah, so
Well, let's
that
look
one,
around maybe too.
yeah. Well, I've got others. I told you about the unanswerable questions. We looked at those
Oh,
at
right,
the
right.
And then
That would be
there,
interesting too to focus on for a little bit.
yeah, and then the deep philosophical questions. I found another list here, but a lot of this,
Oh,
there's a lot of overlap. Oh, this, would you kill 10
yeah.
people to save one? Basically, that's the trolley problem times
That's trolley
two, you know.
problem
Yeah.
times two. Exactly. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And, you know,
Maybe some of those if they're interesting. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, a lot of overlap with things that we've already talked about.
Yeah, is the number twos, is there such thing as free will? We focused on that a bit
Right.
earlier.
How do you know that God exists or doesn't exist?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What,
that's interesting.
yeah. So anyway, there are 140 of these questions.
Woo!
Fun philosophical questions. They've got a collection of those. People say that money cannot buy happiness, but can you ever be truly happy without any money?
Those might be fun.
Yeah.
And those might be good to look at too, or maybe a smattering
Thank
of
you,
either
dear.
one. You got an award from Mercy Minor. Yay!
Yay. Thank you, dear. If we ban drugs, why not harmful food additives and alcohol?
Yeah, right. Sure.
That's one
There we
close
go.
to
That's
near and dear to my heart. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Are emotions rational or irrational?
Mm.
Are there universal human rights? What are they? We talked about that
We
just
talked
recently.
about that
Yeah.
recently. Yeah. Mm.
So yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of them here, but there's a bunch of overlap. Funny philosophical questions. Can vegetables feel pain when you bite into them?
What was that one? Can
Can
vegetables
vegetables
feel
feel
pain when
pain?
you bite into them?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's fun.
Yeah.
Some of these, we can go back and forth or whichever, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fun philosophical question sounds interesting, or the unanswerable questions. I kind of like that one.
The unanswerable. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's good food for discussion, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. When did time begin?
Woo! My gosh, yeah, that is unanswerable.
Did we invent math or did we discover it?
Okay, we touched on that one before,
Right.
didn't we?
Yeah. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten?
There
Huh?
you go. It goes into the thought vault, right?
What was it? Oh, you haven't read Gödel Escher Bach, have you?
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm
Have you got to the
about the
part
first
where
chapter.
they end up in Tombolia or whatever it is, Tombolia or
No,
something like that?
no,
Yeah,
not yet.
yeah. It's
Okay,
it's a
I'll get to that too. I'll get to that during summer vacay.
okay. Yeah,
I'd like to knock that off.
if you make it through the first half or the first 150 pages, then we'll have something to talk about. Until you get about to there's not too much. I mean, I mean, we could talk about the book itself, but
Yeah.
the issues that really get interesting are toward the middle to the second half of the book. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good, Dan. I'm gonna have to hit the road here.
Yep. I think
Uh,
we've done our due diligence.
we've done the due diligence. Thank you for the good trolley problem question.
Yeah, it was good. It was interesting. Yeah. Only one question, but I mean, but with all the variations, that was a lot to talk about. So
It
yeah,
was. It was. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
yeah, it's been good. So come back
Yeah.
again. See you again next
Come
time.
back
Take care.
again.